Hi guys, my name is Nicolette Mashile. I'm also known as the Financial Bunny. Welcome to the Financial Bunny TV. Today we're talking all things finding the right broker when you want to trade Forex. And I'm going to be giving a review on the Octa FX trading platform. Now remember that none of my videos constitute as financial advice. If you are looking for financial advice, please speak to somebody that is certified and registered with the FSCA. So just taking you a couple of steps back in terms of what is a Forex trading. Basically, it is the buying and selling of currencies with an intention to actually make a profit. Now, remember that currencies represent economies, right? So you're getting things like the United States dollar, the South African rand, the Botswana pula, the Japanese yen, the British pound, or the European euro, right? So it's important for you to understand which currency represents which economy, because when you know that, it is much more easier for you to be able to put together a trading strategy. You can either use what is called a fundamental assessment or fundamental analysis, where you are looking at macro economic factors that will influence a specific economy or a specific market, which will then create some level of movement within the currency that you are looking to trade. Or you can do what is called the technical analysis, which is again another way to create your strategy. And here you are basically looking at price points. You're looking at pricing history, and you are kind of trying to predict what the pricing of a specific currency is going to do. And you can actually put in the contingencies to make sure that you have a projection of what you think the price is going to do. So you're looking at price charts and all sorts of things. Now, it's important for you to understand one thing when it comes to Forex trading is the fact that you cannot say I'm trading the USD only. Right? So you're not buying and selling the USD. It will always be in currency pairs, because you've got what is called a base currency, and then you've got what is called a hold currency at all times. So just because you're in South Africa doesn't always mean that you need to trade the South African ZAR or the South African rand, or everything needs to be the rand against something else. You can go with different kinds of currency pairs, like the euro to the USD, the Japanese yen to the USD. And a lot of people love doing a thing where they use currencies of emerging markets, because they generally have quite a number of fluctuations. Very, very important for you to understand all of this. Remember, one of the most important things about learning is being comfortable with being a beginner. And that is why this video is so important to all beginners, to have a better understanding of what is Forex trading and how do you actually make money into it. We'll get into the guide to actual Forex trading a little bit later on. We did do an infographic that I will share with this video, where you can actually get a better understanding of what are the steps that you need to take if you are going to go into Forex trading. Now, one of the most important things when it comes to Forex trading is going to assist you in being able to trade your Forex. So when I say who's going to assist you, is who's going to facilitate these transactions. When you are making a trading order or trading instruction, who are you giving it to? Now, if you go back a couple of years ago, and I've spoken about this in the last video, at Wall Street, people will be standing there and they'll be taking instructions from their clients to buy different types of stocks, right? So you've got to kind of see it in the same kind of way, where you now need either a broker or a brokerage or a broking platform to be able to do this. And that is why I want to do a review of a broking platform called Octa FX. Now, when you are finding your broker, it is so important for you to find the right broker for you. It's like looking for a bank, right? You look for the bank that is going to speak to your needs. You look for the bank that's going to make things a little bit more easier for you to be able to access the type of services that you are looking for. But at the same time, you're also looking for a couple of incentives, right? You want to have an incentive in terms of maybe there is a loyalty program that is going to be part of you being part of this bank. Then you're also looking at the things that you cannot avoid, things like banking fees, transactional costs. How is it easy to deposit, easy to withdraw? Is there transparency? Do I know who these people are? Do they have an office? Are they regulated? All of these things are the same things that you've got to apply when it comes to you finding a Forex trading broker. Now, in South Africa, if you are running any types of funds where you are taking people's money and you are promising them a return, you need to be regulated and registered, authorized and registered with the FSCA. So it's very, very important, because often you may find that some brokers have only got authorization, some actually are being regulated because they are registered by the FSCA. You do find that a lot of international brokers might not necessarily have the registration in South Africa, but they have the registration in their home countries. And this is actually one example of that. Octa FX is not registered with the FSCA in South Africa. It's actually registered with CSEC, which is the Cyprian Securities. Just hold on, guys, so I get the right name. It's a Cyprus Securities and Exchange Commission. That is who Octa FX is regulated and registered under. So they've got what is called one top tier regulation. Very important for you to understand, so that when you are going into the space of wanting to trade on a platform like Octa FX, this is something that you're also keeping at the back of your mind, right? So what are some of the things that I thought of the things that I felt that Octa FX needs to improve on? So first and foremost, I am an Apple girl. So they don't have the app on the Apple Store. I don't know if maybe I've missed it, but I didn't see it in the App Store. I do know those who have Google, say they do have it on Google Play. So I think for me, you know, if I'm going to be trading, especially if I'm a beginner and I'm starting out, it'd be nice to be able to download an app that I have in my pocket and I'm moving around with it, right? Of course, we know that when it comes to trading, emotions need to be taken out of the picture, but just because I'm sitting on the app doesn't always mean that I'm sending out new instructions. But it may so happen that you get, for instance, if you have leveraged a trade and your money goes below the margin, and they send you an instruction to top it up. How will you do that if you are still waiting to go sit at a laptop? If you're getting the alert on your phone, it makes your life a little bit more easier, right? The second thing that I think that Octa FX needs to improve on, of course, is really for me is the withdrawals and the deposits in South African manner. Like, I know that you can deposit with Visa, but you can't withdraw to your Visa account. I think that needs to kind of be changed, because one of the biggest things psychologically is that I don't want to have problems when I'm withdrawing my money, right? It casts a little bit of shakiness on a person. Is the one thing people always say to me, how easy it is to withdraw, whether it is the stock market, whether it is other brokers that are trading stocks or they are trading property. One of the biggest questions that I get asked all the time is it easy for me to withdraw? Because sometimes you may find that, yes, you're not supposed to be trading or investing money that you need, but situations can happen and you may need your money. You may have an emergency and you want to know that you can withdraw it as quickly as possible with through a process where you're also going to pay the least amount of fees. I think that's also important for all of us, right? The other thing that I think is with Octa FX is as much as they've got great customer service, it would give us a little bit more comfort knowing that they've got an office in South Africa. Considering the fact that they aren't registered with the FSCA, if they had an office that wanted to go to, let's say for instance, maybe you did find yourself in a little bit of trouble because you've got maybe a trader that told you that he's going to trade on your behalf, he's trading on the Octa FX platform. You know, as human beings, what we do is we first go to the brand, especially when you're not WhatsApping this person is just ghosting you, and you're like, my money is gone. You always want to assign some level of accountability to somebody else, and generally many of us want to go to a physical building. I think that is a trust building exercise that they could potentially use. The other thing that I noticed that Octa FX does not have the South African rand as a base currency. I think living in South Africa, I want my base currency to be South African. Even if it's not necessarily a great trading strategy, if somebody might pull their nose up at it and say, but why would you want this as your base currency? That's how we think as human beings. We think first in our own. I mean, I remember traveling to Malta, and I did do like quick math. The quick math that you do is always in your own home country's currency first. That's how you actually calculate how much things are. We think in the rand. So for me, it makes sense that we do have those currency options where the base is the South African bazaar, right? Yeah, I think those are some of the main things that I think that they need to definitely improve on. But of course, if you are a beginner, this is probably one of the best platforms because it really assists you. One of the biggest things they've got there is they've got a library of information in terms of how to trade Forex. I like it. I like that they care enough to want to educate people. I mean, even this campaign that they're doing with me is really to educate people on Forex trading so that we also start doing a little bit of PR work around Forex trading. We know what the status is in a country like South Africa where people have been scammed because in the name of Forex, and we've now branded Forex trading, the entire industry, as a scam, whereas it's not a scam. It actually is a reliable yet high risk way of making money. And we should not take that away from people that don't mind making their money that way. But what we cannot do is, because of a lack of education, we then slap it with a scam label, right? So I like the fact that Octa FX goes the lengths to be able to create that information to be available. They've also got what is called a demo account as trying to demo account. When you are trading Forex and you are a beginner, always use the demo account. It will feel like real money. It's not real money, it's virtual money. And it helps in you basically psychologically preparing yourself for the wins plus the losses. And it's also important because they do say themselves on the platform that trading Forex CFDs is high risk. Anything that comes with leverage is high risk. And it's so important for you as a person to understand that. If you don't know what I'm speaking about when I say leverage basically is you investing or trading using somebody else's money. So for instance, let's say you want to put in a trading of 100,000 Rand and you want to put in a leverage of ratio 1 to 20. You would basically only need to have a margin of 5,000 Rand in your trading account. That means that you're actually taking a risk because you're trading an instruction of 100,000 Rand, which only have 5,000 Rand. If you win, yay for you. If you lose, and things don't go the way you have speculated, my goodness, it's not a great space to be in, but you really can lose. The beautiful thing also about Octa FX is that they have that where they've got a negative balance restoration. I think it's called a negative balance restoration. I can't really remember what it's called. But basically, if you go into the negative balance, they bring you back to zero because, hey man, you know what I mean? They win, you win, right? We all win, right? The other great thing that I really like about them is that if you are not a 24/7 trader and you're a novice trader, is new into the space, you really just want to test it out and learn from somebody else, they've got copy trading or copy master trading, where they've got a trader who they have on their system and you can copy that person's trading instructions basically. However, it's important to remember that this person is not going to be making those instructions out of the blue. No, you opt into copying this trader, and that's how you actually copy their instruction. The other thing I really enjoy about them is the fact that they're very transparent. Very, very transparent. Everything that's happening there, you kind of already see what's happening. You know exactly what's happening. There's nothing that they're going to hit you that's new, and they're going to be like, oh, by the way, we forgot to tell you this. No, Jabulani, okay? You better tell me upfront that you want an Isitembu. Don't tell me about Isitembu when we're deep into the marriage. So that's kind of how I feel like, being told new things when you're on a platform would feel like, right? The last thing that I really like about them is that even though they don't have a phone line in South Africa, they don't have an office in South Africa, they do have a very helpful live chat where you can have a conversation with somebody and they are able to sort out. Their customer service is actually quite great. As somebody new, and I was trying to log in and do all sorts of things, and I was getting excited. And then I spoke to, I don't know who she is, Maruki, and Maruki was very, very helpful for me. So that was really great. Yo, one thing as a financial bunny, one thing I can never discount, because if you haven't seen the bank account, fees, guys. I hate fees. Why am I being charged to put money so that I can do what the platform does? Like, why am I being charged to deposit money? So that's what I also like about Octa FX. Got no deposit or withdrawal fees, but they gotta sort out that withdrawal issue that they've got. So yeah, so I think for me, really one of the most important things about being able to match yourself with a broker is understanding who am I dealing with here, what are their flaws, what are their pros, what are their cons, what are their limitations, so that things don't hit you by surprise and you wake up one day and you're like, oh, I don't like these guys that they've got you before. Did you actually do enough research? Obviously, if they're over promising and under delivering, that's a different conversation altogether. And then you can go and report them at the Cyprus Securities and I keep forgetting it. The Cyprus Securities and Exchange Commission. Bye.